Good afternoon, everyone. It's your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and we're back in the broadcast room yet again. And on today, I'm coming to you with a good one here with Miss Candace Owens. And, as we all know, she did, her and Kanye West wore the White Lives Matter t shirts just the other day. And we're going to see what, she has to say about it, see what's going on. And let's try to break this thing down. Let's see what's going down. Hold on.
Today, it's not working anywhere in the world because I wore a t-shirt alongside Kanye West, which read White Lives Matter. And God forbid you wear a t-shirt that says White Lives Matter. We wore this for his Yeezy Season 9 fashion show here in Paris. And people are upset. They're very upset about that. They're going, why on earth? How could you? How dare you wear this shirt? How dare you make a mockery of the BLM movement? In addition to this, in case you missed it on Kanye West's
Awesome!
Now, see, you know what I'm saying? My thing is that, okay, she just said making a mockery of the BLM. You know what I'm saying? The BLM made a mockery of itself. If you ask me, that's just if you ask me. These individuals gathered all these resources, got all this money, and then turned around and did a bunch of crazy shit, at the end of the day. And, that's just fact. We all know this, Let's keep going.
Instagram page, he wrote this: everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Now it's over. You're welcome. That is the only response, or the only thing that he has said publicly about wearing the t-shirt. And you obviously know, if you're watching this, where I stand on the Black Lives Matter movement. In fact, I'm doing an entire documentary to expose the fraudulent nature of that movement and the organization that stood behind it and benefited billions and billions of dollars because they elicited Black grief. They sold Black people a concept of their oppression. They used poorer Black Americans as a marketing firm for their organization. And where did that money go? Well, certainly not to Black America. So
Now, you know what I'm saying? While I don't agree with everything Miss Candace always has to say, but on this particular subject, yes, you know what I'm saying? It is a shame that these individuals, gathered all this money on the backs of, tragedy that happens in the Black community, and then just take it and run the hell off with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, take it and run the hell off with it. Let's just keep it real, because that's what they did. That's exactly what they did. They took the money, ran off, bought all these houses, big mansions, and all this other type of crap. It's just ridiculous. And I'm glad she's speaking about it, and there's other content creators speaking about it. Miss Crimson Cure, she speaks about it. She's very adamant about that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the truth. These people, did the most. And it's just the truth. They did the most.
had this wonderful thing this morning, this wonderful experience, and I'll tell you why it was wonderful. I had breakfast with Ye at his hotel, and it was wonderful because it was one of those moments where I realized how far I've come from where I was. The first time that I ever came to Paris, ironically, I was having breakfast with a woman whose family I worked for, and she was so awful to me. And I'll never forget this moment because it almost ruined Paris for me. It was a wealthy woman who told me, as we sat in her hotel, which was the George Cinq Hotel, she said, Candace, a girl like you shouldn't even be here. Look how expensive the omelet is that you're eating. Do you see how expensive it is? An omelet is $35. A girl like you can't afford this hotel, or you can't afford to stay here. And I remember I was so upset that when I left that breakfast, I was crying because I was so angry that anybody had spoken to me like that. And fast forward, I guess, more than 10 years now, and I am sitting at a hotel with having an omelet, by the way, with Ye West, and we are discussing the internet, which we just broke over this t-shirt. And I just started jotting.
Hey, you know something, you know what I'm saying? There's always going to be people on this planet that's going to want to put you down, especially when they don't see what you are bringing to the table, things, and in some cases, it's not for them to even see what you're bringing to the table. It's not meant for them to see. You know what I'm saying? Until it actually unfolds itself. That's what you have to understand out there, people. In some cases, it's just not meant for people to see, you know, what's going to transpire in your life, because it's it's not their vision. It's not a part of their life. So they're going to have to actually see it on the back end, and then of course, once they see it unfold, then it's all, well, I always knew you had it in you, and this and that, and all that other type of crap. Which is a bunch of bullshit at the end of the day, and we all know this. So but whatever you have for yourself, whatever you have, goals and aspects and dreams and stuff like that, just keep trying to push them. Keep going. Just keep putting your best foot forward. Keep trying to move forward, and everything else gonna be okay. Definitely get away from negative people with negative energy. Yes, that energy will affect you as well.
Down some things that he was saying, because he was actually giving an interview to another magazine, and he said, "I perform for an audience of one, and that's God." I loved that statement, so I wrote it down. He also said, quote, "Utopia is possible for not who we are being led by." I'm going to say that again. Utopia is possible for not who we are being led by, which of course leads me to think about Black Lives Matter again, and these people who claim to be leaders and knew that what they were doing was further dividing the masses. I mean, the whole idea here via the Black Lives Matter movement was to make sure that Black people saw oppression and saw white supremacy surrounding them, and convincing them that if they leaned into this narrative, that somehow their lives would be better. It was a mirage. Actually, that's a word that Ye used during the breakfast.
And people have been using this mirage for a long time now. Now, I'm not saying at one point in the history of this country, and I'm not saying that it doesn't still exist to a certain degree. All I'm saying is that if you're putting your best foot forward and you're surrounding yourself around the people that also support you, and on the same page that you're on, you are going to move mountains. It's no way around this. You know what I'm saying? It's no way around it. And that's just the thing. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? Once you start engaging with other people who are somewhat on the same path that you're on, you don't have to be trying to do the exact same thing. But if they want success in their life as well, and you as well want success, and y'all can network together, even in the smallest way possible, you're able to, you're able to move something. You're able to make something happen.
Too. It was basically a mirage, right? This idea that somehow all we needed to do was burn down our own neighborhoods. All we needed to do was have our youth wearing a George Floyd t-shirts. All we needed to do was loot Targets and loot these expensive stores, and somehow justice would be delivered. And of course it wasn't.
Of course not. Nothing ever comes from you burning down your own neighborhood. That just makes no sense. That makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? Why are you going to burn down your own grocery stores, your own apartments, your own shopping centers, your own, everything in your neighborhood? Why would you do something as ignorant as that? That makes no logical sense. You know what I'm saying? I never saw the logical sense in doing that. Even, of course, okay, you don't, okay, well, I don't own a store in my neighborhood, so it don't matter. And yeah, but it's the store in your neighborhood that you got to turn around and go shop at, because at the end of the day, where else you gonna go shop, idiot?
Is a deep irony and a sad irony when you consider that wearing a t-shirt has led such a tremor throughout the world, right? A t-shirt that says White Lives Matter, which should be implied, right? white lives matter, black lives matter, Asian lives matter. It should be implied.
Yes. Everybody lives matter. Everybody life matters. And that's just the God's honest truth about the life that we live on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Everybody life matters. And you should not, sit there and try to exclude or steadily try to put everything, every single thing in the box. Now, yeah, some things deserve to be in boxes. That's also a part of life. But as far as any human being on this planet, every human being on this planet, life does matter. Even the trash ones, But it's just, and we all know what to do with them. But yes, everybody's life matters, you know what I'm saying? It matters to somebody, your life matters to somebody. They're the people that you love, and their life matters to other people, and so on and so forth. That just is what it is.
Yet people are angry and they are being vicious online because they can't believe that we have the audacity to detract from the movement, which is a lie, right? Black Lives Matter. If Black Lives Matter, then some of these things that we have been talking about on this show, things I've been talking about throughout my entire political career, would be getting attention. Not the t-shirt, right? Not the t-shirt, but these actual statistics that matter. And here are just a few of them. 117,626 Black children were killed by surgical abortion in the United States in 2018, right? Those are recent statistics. Just so we are clear, abortion in America has contributed to the greatest decline in Black population since the first Black slaves arrived.
Right.
You will hear people often talk about lynching. This is like a new thing. They like neoliberalism. They could talk about lynching and they compare everything to lynchings. It's just like being lynched. Well, for your reference, you should know that 4,467 people in the United States were victims of lynchings from 1883 to 1941. 3,265 of those people were Black. And you keep talking about lynching as this horrific thing that's happened in the past, right? And yet when you say to people today that 20 million Black infants were aborted, they don't even blink an eye. They don't even bat an eyelash.
Yo, and that's just, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Now, for all those children to be aborted, and everybody wants to bring up these lynchings that used to go on, and it's the numbers don't even compare to you killing your own versus being lynched by outside forces. You know what I'm saying? So, let's make up our minds here, people, about what we're going to complain about, because if we want to complain about that, then how about we need to complain about all these innocent children that are being taken out before they even have the chance to actually breathe natural God's given air.
No, less than batting an eyelash. They tell those same Black people that they need to be outraged when a Planned Parenthood clinic shuts down. 20 million. When you talk about people that are killed in the millions, when you talk about the Jewish Holocaust, when you talk about the Rwandan Holocaust, people are, oh my gosh, this is horrible. Of course, because it is horrible.
Yes.
But for whatever reason, since we have convinced ourselves to genocide our own offspring, nobody cares. Nobody cares. They don't bat an eyelash. In fact, they tell you that it is your right.
So now, and this is the thing, like she just said, they're telling you it's your right to do all this and that and stuff like that. But then, you want to complain about Buki and Ray Ray on the streets, you know what I'm saying, killing up everybody. You want to complain about that too. Okay, where do you think they learning this from? You know what I'm saying? I mean, where you think they learning it from? Yeah, that's the death bird right there, baby. Man, where you think they learning this from? You know what I'm saying? Come on, people. But And Pookie and Ray Ray don't do nowhere near as much damage as, you know what I'm saying, the abort does. Not near as much damage. Haven't done as near as much damage. Did you just, I know you heard the numbers. I know you heard the numbers. Pookie and Ray Ray don't do near as much damage. Come on now.
So think about that, 20 million black babies, and yet a t-shirt is what got attention last night. In 2012, more black babies were killed by abortion in New York City than were born. Imagine that, your abortion rate being higher than your live birth rate in a city. And they celebrate it. Do you remember, notoriously, the governor lit up the city pink when they talked about expanding abortion rights, expanding the black genocide. Light up the skyscrapers pink. It is a win. A win for who, though, is the question. A win for who? 79% of Planned.
Okay. You know, yeah, it is what it is, people. You know, I'm definitely gonna say we gotta do better out here. You know, it's a shame that, you know, you actually celebrate and kill an innocent life, but then though too, you know, you sit around here and it's just egregious that, you know, you're killing people that's already here and this and that and woo-woo and, you know, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in. I'm your correspondent, Alan Taylor. This is the Bottom Line News. And that, my friends, is the bottom line.